We now come to another very popular form element, checkboxes. Checkboxes allow for multiple items to be selected for a certain group of choices. You can see in this example that I have opened here in Firefox. For my favorite food group, I have 4 options. I can check all of the options or some of the options. Notice that in contrast to radio buttons, choosing one option does not affect my selection of the other options. If we look at the code for my HTML boxes, you can see I have an input type tag to create each of my checkboxes. The type attribute, however, is checkbox in quotation marks instead of radio. The name and value attributes are exactly the same as they are with the radio button. The name attribute will allow me to group my checkboxes so I can have multiple groups on the same page. The value is the data that will be sent if the user chooses the checkbox or checks the checkbox. In contrast to radio buttons, where only one value will be sent for a given group of radio buttons. In this case, all checked values will be sent. Also notice this time that I'm posting my data, this time to my email address, gonzales500@hotmail.com. So I have a email myself button here on the bottom. That's going to submit this to my email address. So if I go ahead and click on the first 3 options, chocolate, ice cream, and cake, and then click on the email myself button, Firefox will open up my default email program, Gmail. I will have the from and to fields already filled out, and I'll be sending in the body of the email the group name for my checkboxes and the values. Let me go ahead and send this to my Hotmail account by clicking on the send button in my Gmail account. Here is the email that I received in my Hotmail account from post from Firefox from James Gonzales. Food equals chocolate and food equals ice plus cream. More a little bit later in this section of the tutorial on additional methods of posting the data that will be sent to you in the forms. But let's now move on to the next movie and review another very useful form element, drop-down lists.